Companies cannot make money. Companies are shutting down. Boy, I was in the Napa Valley over the weekend, and I saw a list of all the retail stores that are being closed. There were many more than I even knew. Starbucks is closing even more locations. Macy's. Layoffs continue. Car manufacturers came back, as was predicted here and everywhere else, and demanded more money. They said without more money, they can't go on. They need more. The TARP money wasn't enough. They need more. Now, I know that many of you are in dire financial straits, or you are worried about being in dire financial straits. I think to a certain extent we have exaggerated this, only because there's a number of people out there who are working. Let's face it, if 8% of you are unemployed, that means 92% of you are working. Now, I do agree that it'll probably get a bit worse before it gets better. But this is a time when people are learning to batten down the hatches. I heard one of these so-called experts on TV, one Mortimer Zuckerman, who is a real estate mogul from New York City, who also owns the magazine called U.S. News and World Report and the New York Daily News newspaper. And he said two completely conflicting things. On the one hand, he talked about how people had used their houses and the equity of their homes as a cash register or as an ATM. And they were spending the equity in their homes. And how terrible that was, and that's why we're in the position we're in. But he also said what is also terrible is now Americans are starting to save money. They're starting to put money away. And that's bad, too. That's bad because we're not spending money, we're saving it. And I say, you know what, Mort? Screw you. Saving money, paying down debt, being conservative with our assets, that is exactly what we all need to be doing. We do not need to be going around spending money. We need to be putting it away. Away. And that is what I want to see happening for you. You know, we do this dopey show, and I come in and we have a lot of fun here. But honestly, when the day is done and I reflect on what we talked about, I do worry about what happens. Because there are so many people who call this program who are totally ignorant about money, who have lived like the last 15 or 20 years have just been a party. Some of you are too young to remember when things were bad in the past and can't understand why they're bad now. In some way, I hope, over the course of the past year or so that I've been doing these shows about money, that I have gotten you to get religion. That credit card debt is bad. It is always bad and should be resisted at all costs. Paying interest on money is bad. Finance charges are bad. Using a credit card to go to the mall because there's a sale is stupid. Because whatever you save on the item you buy, you're going to pay back with spades in interest or finance charges. Call it what you will. I remember going to a mall and one of my dopey exes looked at the window at Hugo Boss and said, look, it's a 20% off sale. And I said, 20% off what? 20% off manufacturer suggested retail, 20% off the regular price, 20% off the last sale price. And if you use your credit card to buy something, in this case it was Hugo Boss, I don't mean to pick on them, it just happened to be the store we saw. I said, what's the interest rate on your credit card? 18% per year? And it's compounded? You can end up paying more in interest than you are saving. It warmed my heart to hear that Americans are saving more now for the first time in decades. Americans are putting money away. They are being conservative with their money. They are saving. They have started to pay down debt. This is fantastic. And unfortunately, because all consumer and business news, all the news about the economy goes through the prism, goes through the filter of big corporations trying to come back from disaster. They do not see you, the individual, doing responsible things as good news. And so it's not passed on to you as good news. Let me tell you, as someone who's on the side of the individual, the news that Americans are saving for the first time in decades, the news that Americans are paying down their debts, their car loans, their credit cards, and anything else with a finance charge, is heartwarming. And I'm not being facetious. I think it's fantastic. What I have tried to convey to you here is not to use the stock market as a casino, not to use your money like you're betting the rent money at the racetrack. Now is the time to get serious about learning about preserving your capital, preserving your money, preserving your life. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. Every now and then on the show, I have an hour where I ask you to call in and I will help you with your financial issues. And I am here to do that for you. Keep in mind, I'm not a certified financial planner. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not an attorney. I am a self-made multimillionaire who is willing to share what he knows about basics, about your household income, your household investments. I have no books to sell. I do not sell no money down real estate. I do not have seminars. I do not have a newsletter. I'm a guy with a microphone who figured out the system and is willing to share it with you. If you've got questions about your money, I am here to answer those questions right now.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. Look at the ratings. Number one in men. Number one. Thank you for your support.
Gracias.
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about your money here. Let's say hello to Samantha on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. Love the show. Love
Thank you. Thank you.
Especially all of your onophile. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but all of your wine-loving stuff on the weekends, especially.
I'm drinking a glass right now, as a matter of fact.
Cool. Question for you. I'm a traveling, touring musician living in Southern California. I have a pretty decent $1,255 I'm paying for rent for an apartment. I have about 80 G's saved in the bank. I don't have regular income. It's pretty sporadic, but I want to know if I should buy a place. I'm not home a lot. I tour a whole lot. Or should I just keep the low rent? I feel like an idiot sometimes paying rent, but then again, I talk to all my friends who own places, and they just
Darling, what is your average annual income?
It's so sporadic that, you know...
I asked for an average. I didn't ask for what days you get paid.
Let's say 65. I'm going to be conservative.
You average $65,000 a year.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know that when you buy a house, you got a mortgage, you got interest on the mortgage, you got property taxes, you got insurance. Right now in your apartment, when your toilet is clogged, you call the building manager and he sends somebody up there to unclog it?
Yes.
When you have your own house, you know who the building manager is? You.
Right.
Do you really think you can afford a house?
I don't. I'd rather keep the apartment, but then I've got everybody, like parents and other people, saying it's the best thing you can do.
Well, they're wrong.
Okay, good.
It's the best. Look, first of all, it's the best thing you can do when you can put down at least 20 to 25%.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? There's not a lot of $400,000 houses around.
Right.
Did you say you have $80,000 saved?
Say again?
Oh, Jesus, this is painful. Did you say you have $80,000 saved?
Yes, correct.
All right. That would mean that's 20% of $400,000. Are you seeing a lot of $400,000 homes?
No, there was a sort of a cheapy deal I thought about going into with my sister for like $250, and we were thinking about renting
$250? What do you know about real estate?
Nothing.
Well, no, then the answer is no.
Okay.
Have you read about rents in Southern California lately?
No.
Rents are down.
Right.
You could end up paying for the house and having the cost of maintaining it be more than you would get in rent. So
Thank you.
What are you going to do with negative cash flow? And then where would you live?
I know. These are great points you make. Thank you.
Nobody has thought this out for you, okay?
Right.
Trust me when I tell you, you are not an expert. You don't know how to do it. You don't understand the numbers of the deal. And when you live in a house, it costs a lot of money.
Right.
A lot.
What do you suggest?
All you need is your roof leaking and your $5,000 in the hole.
And then I'm stressed out because I can't be there to do maintenance and
No.
delegate.
It's worse than that. What happens if you can't pay the mortgage?
Right.
What happens if you can't afford to do the maintenance?
Well, is there anything I can do with my money while I...
Darling, you have $80,000. Is that all you have to your name?
Yeah.
Darling, that's your emergency fund. I don't know if you've been reading the newspaper or watching television or looking at the news in any way. Have you?
I mean, here and there, Tom.
Good. I know you're.
I know. On the treadmill in the morning.
You're a woman and you don't read the news. Look, darling, we're in practically a depression here.
Yes, I know.
What would happen if you had no job for a year?
I could survive for a year. I could survive
on your $80,000.
Right.
Yeah, but what if you had already put that money into a down payment?
Right, then I'm screwed.
Then you've got zero.
Right.
I mean, your parents were your parents too young for the depression? They didn't go through the depression, I take it.
Too young.
Right. So they have no idea what's going on here. You need to live conservatively. Do you have any credit card debts?
Zero.
Good. Car loans?
Yeah, but I mean, that's another question. Is I pay $350 a month on my car, and I have about another 2 years left on it. But
is that a lease, or do you own the car?
I own it.
You own it. You were about to say it was a lease, and then you changed it.
Should I just pay the whole thing off now if I can?
No, you know why?
Why?
Because when you get a car loan, they front load all the interest. Do you know that?
No.
You pay way more in interest in the beginning than you pay at the end. The bank's already gotten its money.
Okay.
So you have no incentive to pay it off early.
Okay, well, that's my only quote-unquote debt then.
Good. Don't pay it off.
Well, how can I do something smart with my money to grow it,
Darling, have you read about the stock market?
Yeah, it's in the crapper.
It's in the crapper. Have you read about the interest rates at the bank?
They're out of control.
No, they're not. Interest rates are practically zero. Some banks are saying, we have a money market account and we'll pay you 0.33% on that. But it's not insured by the FDIC. But if you'd like to be insured by the FDIC, we can pay you zero interest.
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you is the most important thing right now is to make sure your money is in an FDIC-insured account.
Okay, I have that.
Batten down the hatches, dear. You're not in a position to be making investments.
But just be conservative, have everything in the bank in an FDIC-insured fund.
Correct.
And don't go playing the stock market.
Right. And stop going to Starbucks.
I I got that covered. I'm cool.
All right. No cigarettes, no Starbucks. Stop wasting money.
Whole Foods is my only vice.
Too expensive.
Whole paycheck.
Go to Trader Joe's. Stop with Whole
I love
Foods.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. She's not going to stop going to Whole Foods, I can tell. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. We're talking about your money. Anna on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Tom, I have a question for you. Well, a few. I'm in debt for like maybe about $10,000, and honestly, I have a part-time job. I'm having a hard time finding a full-time job. I've applied everywhere, so.
Wait. What did you spend $10,000 on?
Well, my mom got ill, so it's basically just college and her medical expenses, just like medicine and stuff that I couldn't afford on my regular salary.
Why doesn't your mom have insurance?
Well, you know, she did at the time, and then for some reason, I don't know, we're suing her company, but she had no insurance during her surgery, so a lot of little expenses actually went on the credit card. So I'm thinking it's not a lot for all the money that she owes or that we could have spent on that credit card, but I try to manage it as best I could. Just now, the interest is killing me. It's like 28%.
Why do you have a 28% credit card? Do you have bad credit?
No, I just got my credit report yesterday. It said it's fair. So, yeah, it's probably bad.
Why is your credit bad?
Oh, I fell behind a few payments on my car. So.
Why did that happen?
Because I ended up unemployed, and I had no money saved. So that was.
And how much of a car loan do you have?
My car loan, I owe $22,000.
What kind of car do you drive?
It's Envoy Denali.
You can't afford a car like that.
Well, I did before. Now I could.
No. You're supposed to live beneath your means.
No, I know you're right. I know that was a really stupid purchase, man, and I tried to actually get rid of it. And they're like, no, you know what? This is not a good time. Like, the guy told me, he's like, you know what? I would take it. But honestly, he's like, he's like, you're too cute. I don't want to do that to you. He's like, because I'll F you over. Really.
Oh, darling.
And I know that I'm just like having a hard time. I'm like, oh, what do I do? What's the smartest way?
You know what I would do if I were you? I would trade it in for that $10,000 Nissan.
You know, you'd be surprised. I don't even drive a damn car. Actually,
well, then I would trade it in so that you'd stop having these big payments. How much is your car worth?
It actually didn't lose that much value. I think it's about $20,000.
And you owe $22,000.
Yeah, so I'm like, like $2,000 difference.
But if you traded the car in for a $10,000 car, what would that do to the equation?
I'm not sure. I'm not enough.
Well, maybe you need to figure that out.
I tried. I went to several dealers, and, I went to Saturn.
No, you did. No. I'm telling you, there was is it called Versa? Nissan Versa, $9,990. Or you get a 1-year-old car.
I mean, I don't mind. It's not that I didn't.
You can't afford this.
I know.
Then you have to fix it.
And I know. I am going to get rid of it. So
fix it. No, you fix it now.
I am going to get rid of it. I am. I was actually looking into them online yesterday, and I was like, oh, my God, what do I do about my credit card? That's what I'm worried about.
Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to eliminate this big payment you're making.
Okay.
And the way you're going to do that is you're going to trade down to a small car, preferably one that's 1 year old or two.
Yeah, I mean, that's still really good. Yeah, I don't really mind. I'm not the type of person that I want a luxury car. I mean, if I have the money, I mean, wouldn't mind. But that was a really stupid purchase, and I know that, and I'm paying for it now. But
you have to, instead of paying for it, you need to be doing something about it.
I know, yeah, especially with this part-time job that I can't afford it.
No, you have to do it this weekend.
This weekend?
Yes, take your car in for a good cleaning, a good detailing or whatever, and then go to a dealer and see how much you can get in a trade and see how cheap a car you can get. Preferably one where you would end up with, if not cash back, you would end up on the positive side.
But they did tell me I would actually even owe the difference. I mean, this place told me $2,000. This other place told me about $8,000 or $7,000.
Hey, zero tolerance policy.
Yeah!
I know you're frustrated, but you can't use the F word on the air.
Tom, 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom, 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. More guys love the Tom Leykis Show than any other afternoon radio program. It's proven. It's a fact. The numbers are in. We're number one. That's right. And we're here talking about your money at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's our telephone number. And let's say hello here to Ben on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Father. Long time, first time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Hey, Dad, do you think that I should buy a condo downtown? I'm divorced. I'm looking to have a place in the area. What do you think?
What for? What for?
Well, I need a place to live. I mean...
Why not rent a condo? Why not rent somebody else's condo?
So you're thinking buying is just not the thing to do right now?
Look, first of all, Ben, how much money do you make per year?
I'm hurting, Dad. I'm at about 45.
You can't afford to buy a condo downtown.
I know.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean, why is the people who can't afford things are worried about tax deductions?
Right.
What you have is barely bus fare in Southern California.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking it might be a good investment for the long term.
Why would you think that?
Well, I think downtown, the way they're building up around the Staples Center, I think, they're doing some things, and my income fluctuates, so...
Yeah, but let's think about it this way. So many condominiums have been built in L.A., downtown, Hollywood, other places, that they can't sell them. There's a bunch of condos on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. I won't embarrass any particular developers. They were built as condos. They're now for lease.
Huh.
There's no buyers.
Right. But that's not an opportunity to get in.
Not for somebody who doesn't have any money. There are no investment opportunities for losers.
Gotcha.
You don't have money. People without money cannot make investments.
Okay.
You don't have money.
Well, what about, I wouldn't use it as an investment. It wouldn't be my only place, but I'm saying, I got a family place back in Atlanta, but I'm wondering, is there any way to make an investment on that? Or?
Yeah, well, you can't make investments. You don't have money.
All right, I hear what you're saying.
Do you understand? Investments are for people who have what they call investable cash.
Got it.
You don't have that.
Okay.
You've got rent money.
I got you. Well, you don't think downtown's going to ever take off?
Oh, it might for somebody, a person with money.
I hear you.
You're not that person.
All right.
Let me ask you a question. You got debts?
Yes. And I have children.
You've got children. You've got credit card debt.
Yeah.
You got car loans.
Yeah. No, actually, no. That's done.
No car loan.
No car loan.
Right. But how many credit cards do you have?
I have 2.
How much debt do you have?
About $3,000 on both of them.
Right. $3,000 total?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Wow.
And what are you paying in terms of finance charge on those puppies? How much?
Too much. You're right.
Right. So how are you going to make a payment? When you buy a condominium, you got to make the mortgage payment, which includes your property taxes, insurance. You got to pay the fees to the condominium association.
Yeah.
Right? You have to pay all the cost of fixing the place when it breaks down.
You're making your point.
Where are you getting that money from?
Got to make some more money, Tom.
That's first, make some money. Let me ask you another question, Ben, in the middle of what is almost a Great Depression. Let me ask you, how much money do you have in the bank?
Maybe $5,000 total, maybe.
Right.
Not much.
So what happens if you lose your job?
That would be a problem.
Right. So now you want to add in a mortgage that gets foreclosed?
No, you're right. I mean, you're making a good point. So what can I say? I mean,
You take the word investment out of your vocabulary.
I got you. I got you.
Here's what you put in your vocabulary, okay?
Yeah.
Paying down your debts
Yeah.
to zero. Okay, the next time you will use the word investment is after your debts are zero and after you have 12 months of living expenses in a liquid account.
Okay.
Okay? You're not even close.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm looking up to see bottom, but I will change that. You're my inspiration. Can you take me out African style?
Yes, I can.
Baninge, 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 sopenza. Baninge, 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 sopenza. Kotale nenge asika mama. Oya kotale nenge asika mama.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Christina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so happy to talk to you.
As well you should be.
Okay, so maybe you can help me out. First of all, I wanted to tell you that I really do. I'm right with you on your ideas about politics and food and wine. I couldn't agree with you more on all of it, and I love it. I don't agree with you on everything, but that's okay, because to me, that's the most important. But anyway, so maybe you can help me out in terms of saving. I'm a very practical person. I live way below my means. I don't have any huge debts at all. And I'm saving, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I have a great job. It's stable. But I cannot get past living paycheck to paycheck. I just can't get out of this rut that I've been for years.
Well, you're not likely to get out of it. How many children do you have?
I have one. We share custody.
Were you married?
I was never married to him.
Why did you do that?
Why did I not get married to him?
No. Why did you have a baby?
Because I lived in a very strict Catholic household that didn't believe in.
Well, they weren't that strict
sex.
because apparently they had no problem with fornication.
Right, they had a problem with everything. So I got pregnant with the first guy I was with, and
so let me understand. Wait. If you were a strict Catholic, I just want to understand the thinking here. Okay.
Yeah, let's.
You're a strict Catholic.
Yeah.
So you go and you have sex with your boyfriend.
Yes.
How can you be a strict Catholic and be having sex with your boyfriend?
I was not a strict Catholic. My parents were very
All right,
strict.
so if you're not a strict Catholic, why weren't you using why weren't you using birth control at the time you had sex with your boyfriend?
I went to a Catholic school that didn't talk about birth control, and
so you never heard of birth control?
Of course I heard about it, but I heard about it, late in the game.
But darling,
let me tell you something, Tom. Let me tell you something. I'm the first advocate against sex without protection before, marriage.
Well, you are now. But dear, the World Wide Web has been around since 1994. All that information, and you've gotten pregnant since then. All the information you need has been out there.
Oh, trust me. I grew up in I was very, very naive, very, naive and.
Darling, my mother was Catholic. And my mother never said one word about sex. Yeah. But I knew about condoms, and I knew about birth and babies. By the way, I also knew about abortion.
Yeah.
Right?
I did. And I looked into that option, which was not going to happen with the support of my family.
Well, how would they even know you were pregnant if you went and had an abortion?
I didn't. I went and I told them about it, but I was looking into something else, not abortion.
Adoption?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that?
I went halfway through the process until I just felt like it was the wrong thing for me to do, and I'm glad I did.
All right, but then be happy about the financial position you are in, because you put yourself there.
Well, I don't think that I really have. Obviously, this has been on my plate for a long time. I don't think that's that's what put me in the financial position.
Really? What college did you attend?
CSUN.
CSUN. And what was your major?
Child development.
Are you in that business?
I am. I'm in administration.
Right. And how does that pay? Nothing.
It pays pretty well. But
Really?
like,
How come you're broke?
That's why I'm calling it. Well, I'm finally at a position now where I'm in administration. Before, I was always like, oh, I want to stay, in the classroom and blah, 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 and working in public school systems, working at charter schools. Finally, I got into a good private school, and I get paid a lot better. I'm in a better position. And so now I'm not struggling as much as I was. I'm finally seeing a little bit of surplus every month, but barely, not enough to save. I feel like there's not enough every month to save.
Well, you need to save whatever there is.
Well, I'm trying to cut down on my bills, and I hear all these people talking about their envoys and their this and their that. It's like, God, my car's paid off. I have $1,000 in credit card debt that I haven't used my credit cards in a long time. I don't get.
Why do you have $1,000 in credit card debt? What did you spend that money?
I just pay it off. I just pay a little bit every month just to get it down. So it's almost
No. But why did you ever have it?
That was when I wasn't getting paid as well, and I put just random stuff on my credit card just from years ago.
Jesus.
The stupidest thing, and I was one of those people that always told people, or friends, never to get credit cards, and I put $2,000 on a credit card, and that was, and that was it. Another small credit card, a few $100s, and that was it. I never went back. I never put anything else on a credit card, and I didn't buy any big purchases, and I'm renting. I'm a pretty practical person. I'm not.
Your kid doesn't wear designer clothes, I hope.
What's that?
Your kid doesn't wear designer clothes, I hope.
No, we go to Old Navy, and I shop at Target, and I try to do my best and save where I can and spend money where I think it's important, and that's about it. I do not live even close to, what I would love to be living.
Well, the only way you can improve your lot in life financially is to get a second job. Or to marry a guy who has money, is willing to support you, because where else are you going to get money?
Yeah, well, I have a fiance who's, he's pretty good. He's in the real estate business, so I don't want to rely on him for anything.
Yeah, how's that going, the real estate business?
Oh, it was going well. It's not anymore, but
nobody's business is going well now.
No. Well, my job is stable. My job is good. My job's not going anywhere, as long as people are going to pay tuition, and I'm doing okay in that sense. I've always had a great, stable job, stable career. I've always worked full-time, 2 jobs, and gone to school full-time since I've had my child. So I'm not like a slacker loser. I've gone 2 months of my entire life without working, and that's it.
Right, but you really didn't make a big plan. You got knocked up, didn't bother with birth control, didn't bother with abortion, didn't bother with adoption.
No, I did not.
All right. Then you went to college to study for something that is not a big paying job.
Exactly.
It's a very nice career for people who can afford to do it, but you're not one of those people. You need more money.
I just want to know that I can have enough in a few years to buy a home. I'm not, and if my fiance or my husband wants to pay for vacations, that's fine.
Now, he might be able to buy a home, and he might put your name on the deed, but you, the way you're going, will never have enough money to buy a home.
No.
Ever.
So you think that based on the way that it is now, living paycheck to paycheck, there's no solution to figure out how to buy a home?
The solution is get another job. I'm amazed. People just don't want to hear reality. That's the reality.
The thing is, Tom, I did have another job. I was, as a hostess and a freaking waitress and all that stupid stuff that worked my butt off. It was good money, but I was exhausted. It wasn't enough to buy a house.
But then maybe you need another main career.
Oh, God. It's like I worked forever for this.
But darling, how much does it pay?
$50,000 a year.
That isn't much.
I know it's not much.
That's not the point. Maybe if you have a brain, maybe you should have shot higher. If you wanted to live as a single mother with nobody helping you financially, you needed to study for a career that paid more.
Well, I was thinking of going back to school since my school will support me, and getting a degree in business and seeing where that takes me. Getting my master's in business.
It's what you should have done in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just finished CSUN. It took me forever to finish it. I did, but I'm thinking just to keep on going and see if that helps me get paid more. I don't know, even in the same career.
In the short run, it might not help much. But when the economy improves, having all the education you can have gives you the best leg up. But for now, you're not buying a house. So don't even think about it because you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, someone has to tell you the truth, dear.
Well, my fiance owns properties and has all that stuff, but I don't consider his income my income because things are up and down.
Then,
you can't rely on someone else.
You better hope he likes, being married to you or living with you or whatever, because right now that's the only hope you have.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
From Hollywood, it's the Rip Snorton Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. And we are living it up here talking about your money. 1-800-5800-TOM. There's our telephone number. It's Jim on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going okay.
Okay. Need your advice.
I'm listening.
I am looking to buy a house right now. It's a short sale, and it originally was selling for $400,000, and I put in an offer for $250,000, and the offer was accepted. Is now a good time? What do you think's going to happen?
Well, tell me why you're buying a house. Let's start with that.
Well, okay,
I mean, what kind of... Let me ask you a question, Mr. Huntington Beach. What kind of neighborhood can you live in for $250,000?
I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but it's Silverado Canyon.
And where is that?
Irvine.
And you're telling me you got a nice house for $250,000?
Yeah. No.
And you would like to live in Silverado Canyon for the next 5 to 10 years minimum?
Right. Yeah.
All right. And how much money do you have to buy this house?
I have $15,000 in the bank right now for a down payment.
That's not enough.
They're asking for 3.5%.
Dude, down payment should be a minimum 20%.
But they're asking, it's a FHA loan.
I understand what they're asking. This is for your own good. Do you understand?
Right, yeah.
This is for your own good.
Okay.
You understand? The idea is so that you don't have to pay interest on debt.
Yeah.
Do you see what's happening to people who are paying interest on debt? They're dying. They're burning in a living hell right now.
Right.
Why do you want to be one of them?
Well, right now I'm spending $2,000 a month in rent. And with that $2,000 a month that I'm giving to somebody else to pay their mortgage, I can put towards my own mortgage.
Well, but again, look how much you're going to have to spend on property taxes. How much are your property taxes?
Well, my mortgage at, buying the house at $250,000.
Forget it, but don't tell me what your monthly payment is.
Okay.
What are your annual property taxes?
That I don't know.
Why don't you know?
That's something that they tell me, and it gets written down on a piece of paper, and I'm in a car, so it's written down.
Well, you should know that. I mean, I can tell you right now how much I pay. My property tax on my home in the Hollywood Hills is about $9,000 a year.
Right.
My property tax up in Santa Barbara County is about $30,000.
Well, I can tell you.
Why don't you know?
My monthly property tax is $250,000, so by 12, $24,000 a year.
$24,000 a year in taxes?
Yeah.
That's tax you're not paying now.
Right, but it's also, I mean, that's what I'm wondering is, right now I'm giving $2,000 away every month for sure. That's what I'm giving away.
But you don't understand something. You are going to be paying towards a mortgage, and you're going to most of the money you're paying in the beginning is going to be towards interest.
Interest only, right?
Oh, it's an interest-only loan.
No. It's no.
Oh.
It's a fixed loan, 30-year loan fixed at, I think the market's at 5.6% right now. So that's what my interest will be for the length of the loan.
5.6% is the interest rate on you. So it's a fixed rate loan?
Yeah.
For how many years?
30.
A 30. Right. And what is the monthly payment?
$1,650.
$1,650 for 30 years.
Right.
Right. And do you know how much it will cost to get homeowners insurance for your house?
Well, because of the area, it's in the fire country, and
So you have to get safe,
Hey,
what's it called, California Fair Play.
right.
How much is that?
That's $20-30 a month.
$20, $30 a month for minimal insurance.
Right. For fire and flood.
All right, so that's $20, $30 a month you're not paying now. $200 a month in taxes you're not paying now. Now we're up to $240. Okay, what about, so that's homeowners insurance. You going to get earthquake insurance?
I think it's a mandatory sort of thing, but
How much is that?
I don't know.
You
That I
don't know. Okay, and the cost of upkeep and maintaining this home is what?
Well, I build homes. I build homes for a living, so upkeep.
You got to buy the roof tiles, you got to buy tar, you got to buy, come on, you got to buy plumbing.
No, absolutely.
How much?
That's a come as it goes. That's
Well, not on an
that I gotta
apartment, it
fix when
isn't.
happens.
In an apartment, you don't pay anything.
I pay full utilities. I pay.
Oh, please, with the mouth. You're out! Holy cow. Go to our MySpace. It's myspace.com/Tom Leykis. myspace.com/TOMLEYKIS. And get a look at my blog. See a list of the words you can never say on the air. You will need this for all time. More of your money coming up.
The Tom Leykis Show.